Ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday. What do we have here on the screen? This is something I recommend to everybody who is into stocks and options. Play your trades on the weekend, guys. Go look at what Apple did Monday through Friday. Look at the chart, and then you can pick your speed. You can go 3 times, 10 times faster. Let's pick 10 times. So if we look at Apple, it's a whole different ballgame when you guys are looking at it and just watching it. You can change it into a candle view, right? And if I slow it down, you can see that Apple is not as volatile as some people think, okay? It's a whole different ball game, and I'm going to show you something here that I think is super important. When you're watching the stock, you're watching here, and you're seeing it go up and down. You're never looking back. Look to the left, folks. Look to the left. What is Apple doing? Well, if you have studied trading, you will know that this was a bullish or bearish rectangle. And what is Apple going to do? Since Apple is already falling, okay, you see from here, came down to here, I would assume that at some point it's going to fall a little bit more, right? But if it's in a rectangle, it's consolidating, okay? So it could go up, which it did here, okay? But if you're not replaying your stocks, then how do you know momentum? How do you know what the stock is going to do? Okay. So this is super important for you to understand what happens with your favorite stocks. Did it have news? Did it just report earnings? Was the earnings good? Were the earnings bad? Okay. And you can see Apple here. Like I always say, charts don't lie, okay? I'm going to speed this up a little bit for you. And you can see, even if I go to the line area graph, okay, you can see what's going on with Apple, okay? It's very, very good to study your stocks on the weekend. Now, if you do it every weekend, you're good. If you have time, study the whole month. Why did it do this? Stop the actual recording, okay, and go look. Why did it pop up? Why did it fall down? Okay, study your stock. This is going to change the game for you. It's going to be a game changer. You're going to understand trends, and you're going to understand one of the most important things, which is time. Okay, this is the 5-minute time frame, and then you can see what happens in the morning, what happens in the afternoons, what happens overnight, what happens the next day. Very, very important that you study your stocks. All right, so let me help you with Apple, and the reason I'm reviewing Apple is because Apple is the biggest market cap. Whatever Apple does, almost every other stock does. So let's look at Friday, 9:30 in the morning. What did Apple do the whole day? Okay, so it was in a range from $149 to $151. Okay, but you see a few clever things here. It took a dip down. Okay, and then it came up a bit, and then we came down a lot of bit, and then we went up a lot of bit, okay? And again, we did the hills and valleys with Apple, okay? And Apple is, not going to lie to you, it follows one thing, in my opinion, right? So we went down here, and then eventually we ended up back up top. And one of the interesting things, if you study your stocks, and I'm going to show you, Apple ended the day right almost at the same spot where it started. So that's an interesting thing, right? So somehow the stock came down, went up, and it did a lot of magical things, but I'm going to show you, if you don't understand stocks and options, I'm going to show you what happened. Okay, so let's go through this. First reason I draw this box, guys, is so that we can see where Apple found support, okay, which is right in here, and where it found resistance, which is right up here. And I'll lower this just a little bit so we can see it better. Okay, that's it. That was the highest point for Apple. This was the lowest point. So what does that mean if you're trading? It means that people are willing to sell their stock at about 151, and people were willing to buy at 149. So that was support. Now, how do I know Apple's not going to go back down? Okay, it's very simple. We draw lines. So we got support here, and Apple started to climb. Okay, and then we saw Apple change its path. That's fine. And you can see that it kept going down. So you had lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And then there was a retest, and it came up and it beat the previous resistance, which was right in here. Okay. I'm going to help you guys out. I'm going to open this up really nice so that we can take a really good look at what happened here. So if you're watching Apple, you have to be very, very patient. As you see it going up, right? We saw resistance here, and then it kept coming down. And it tried to come back up, found resistance, and this is where a lot of people will start jumping into puts. And it came back and forth, and finally came down, hit resistance one more time, and found support here. Okay. Now, when it came back up, if it passes this area here, which was resistance, this tells me Apple is going to continue in an uptrend. Not only did it pass that point there, and I'm going to highlight that for you, it continued to pass other points. So this was resistance here. Now, you know what? Let me give you a nice little line. So this was a point of resistance there. And we saw that as it tried to come back up and then didn't make it. So that was resistance right in that area there. Boom. Okay. Then Apple said, I'm going to go up, and we see another resistance area here. Let me get rid of that. So you see, when Apple makes its way back up, it knows that there's going to be resistance here from previous tries and resistance here. So if it got past that point, it's an excellent time to consider an entry. And then it passes this point, excellent time again. When you find resistance here, you can make a decision and say, I'm out of the trade. But this is how people play Apple. Okay. On the way down, obviously, same thing, came down, found support, came up, resistance, and started going down. Found support, resistance again, and then it kept going down. So these are confirmation areas for people who are shorting it or who are buying puts. In here on the way up, these points here, the yellows, are confirmation area for people who are buying longs, which is shares, or calls. Now, here's the next thing. So let's say you decided, I see too much resistance. We're not getting out of this area. I'm selling, and you bought right in here. Perfectly fine. Now, how do you know what to do if it starts reversing? Do I get in? Do I keep my position? Okay, very simple. Okay, I always recommend sell when it's green. If it's green, sell it. Don't think twice about it. You see resistance, that's even more confirmation to sell. But how do I know to get in, coach, if it's coming down? Okay, you don't. You don't do it until you get confirmation, and your confirmations are going to be these areas of support, whether it's going up or down. So for example, here it came back down, it found some support, okay, then it started climbing, okay, and it started climbing and leaving previous resistance area, which you can see a little dent in there, which if I turn on the candles, it would show that that was resistance. Okay, it tried to come up but didn't make it. So boom, we got past first line of resistance, and now here's another point, and we got past this line. Okay, so again, these two resistance line, we got past it. Now perfect time to get in. Okay, and then here's an even better confirmation if you are day trading. Okay, you had another resistance in there, okay, which was this one here. All right, and we're just gonna mark that off. Let me get rid of my double arrow. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3 previous resistance area, and Apple kept marching. If you didn't jump in here, okay, this could have been a great entry. Okay, whether you're buying longs or you're buying some options. Okay, and you saw a retest, got resistance there, came down, and then kept climbing up. Okay, so this is the most important part. This is why on your free time, it could be on the weekends, it could be during your lunch break, it could be in the morning when you wake up and you say, I'm getting up an hour early, and you say, I want to replay my stock. If you replay just one day, okay, you saw that. We just went through one day of Apple and we saw what happened. We saw the resistance and we saw support, and we also saw areas where we can enter the trade. So if I'm playing Apple, okay, I'm going to draw my lines. If I'm doing this during the day, I'm personally a swing trader. So I do this on the 1 hour and the 4 hour chart. And I have other indicators that also give me confirmation. But this is how easy it is to enter or exit a trade. Okay. So if you didn't know how to do this and you want to learn more, I'm going to leave you guys a link below. I have some free courses, guys. And then I have a package for you for $1. $1. You get a big package of support. You're going to get a community where you can chat, and you can be in that chat group with me. You have questions, you get live answers. Okay, you're going to get courses on how to do this to begin with. You're going to get stock market updates. You're going to get a watch list as well, where I tell you this stock's going up and this is how I would enter the trade. And there is a video I have that's going to guide you on that stock. So you're going to get 5 for 1, guys. 5 for 1. Leave me a link below. $1. That's less. Okay, that's less than a coffee at Starbucks, guys. So take advantage. So again, Apple is easy. So are many other stocks, but you have to do your homework. Okay, and we can do this with other stocks as well. I personally do it with people who have joined my group and need one-on-one. We can do a one-on-one session on the weekend. We can do it after you get home from work during the week. Okay, we set up an appointment. And if you have questions, I'll show you what I see. Then you can show me what you see, and we can share notes and get better. All right, reminder here, guys. If you're finding value in this video, please hit the subscribe button so you get notified when I set up the next video. Okay, I am posting videos as well in my subscription area. But if you like this video and you found value, please share it, hit the bell button and the big thumbs up, please. And this really helps the channel out. So Questions on Apple, leave me a DM below, guys. The stock market right now is continuing to want to go down, and I'm going to share that with you guys on the next video. And until then, replay your stock, guys. Replay them.